Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Higgs, coming at you here on Wednesday. It is December the 4th. We're doing some college football. You'll see these later on, but we do these ahead of time because Saturday mornings we're working because we'll probably have 127 college basketball games to look over that morning. So we put the post up a little early here for Championship Saturday. Chirimbes, Brian Bitler, as always, joining me here on the Winner Circle channel. Take a minute, maybe even less. Hit the like button, subscribe, notification bells on. I think we're like 50 people away from what Jim said about cracking the 14,000 mark, so that's pretty good. So let's get us over that hump there by the end of the year, or else I'll just make fun of you for having short, tiny arms that can't hit a like button. Now, if you like the free picks, again, these are free picks. Yesterday, I believe we went 2-1 with our college basketball chip, right? I think you had a nice Clemson doggy outright. Tennessee over, never in doubt there. We won't mention the one that went 2-1, but still 2-1 day. We're going to try to go 3-0 with college football. Premium stuff, though, again, these are free picks. We try to win them all. You want the goodies that are under the Christmas tree, it might have to cost a little bit. gamblersWORLD.net is our sponsor. Head on over there. Get all of our premium content. 3 730-day packages are guaranteed, which is great for this time of year because apparently most of the bowl games will all be done by December 31st. So you'll get a bunch of bowl games, NFL, college basketball, NBA, any hockey that we put out. I know Doug Upstone's the hockey guy when I do the free pick videos, but whatever's there, all included, guaranteed show you a profit over that time, or we credit you back. Or you want something shorter? Sure. Hey, listen, we got the $69.99 day pass. Go after that one. And this weekend, special college football bonanza. I don't know if Seth has a banner for it. You can't beat all access college football. $79, get them all. Go get them all. And NFL end of season December sale, $1.99. That's $40 a week less. Hell, I don't know. Listen, you can't really beat that for $199, folks, for all the way through college football or NFL regular season. There you go. 12 Days of Christmas will be returning as well. You can't beat that. We got you covered at gamblersWORLD.net. All you got to do is hit the like button, follow, subscribe. Head on over there. Chip Chirimbes on a 23-7 NBA run. Mr. NBA. I think he's 10-1 in college hoops. Brian Bitler crushing it in college football. I think he's number 2 in the money there. Not too shabby. But we're going to start with Brian because I get him once a week. I get Chip a couple times. So I want to see how Brian's weekend went. And then we'll see how Chip did yesterday. But Brian, how are things going for you? How was your weekend? What do you got in store for the Gamblers World family?
I'll tell you what, last couple of days it's been an up and down journey. I think 0-3 on Thursday, but then bounced right back 3-0, then an 0-3, then a 5-0. So it's been topsy-turvy, but last 2 days, winning days, 2-1. I'll take it. I'm going to try to keep the winning going through the week.
There you go. Chip.
Well, it's our time of the year. You know, we've got a lot going on, and college basketball is one of the things, Sean. Swept the board yesterday, 3-0, and now won 10 of the last 11 college basketball releases. We were taking our time and pacing ourselves early, but now there's some great matchups out there. Big-time schools going head-to-head. Not only conference play has started so early this year, Sean, because the conferences are so big. They have so many games to schedule in. Usually, we used to wait till after Christmas or the first of the year, but they're already going head-to-head in big conference games. And, to me, right now, sometimes these games are jumping off the table. They're just coming right at you, and you're looking at the page, and they're working. When they don't work, it's a little bit different. But right now, things are on a nice roll, and I feel good. And I know, Brian, those 0-3 and 3-0s, I mean, sometimes they get so frustrating because you're really trying to get your momentum going.
But again, that's how we get it, right? You have the up and down kind of swings. Yeah. But the key is we put together more of those 2-1 days and 3-0s than we do the losing days, right? I mean, I had a losing yesterday. I think I went 5-5 yesterday on the site. It's all right. Do I want to win? I want to win every game. What am I going to do? You can't.
Sometimes it's
basketball.
Sometimes it's a Jameis Winston interception, that turns your 3-0 day into the 2-1. So
2-1 day.
That's gambling,
Yeah, I mean the over. I mean that was a man. I'm glad I didn't play it. I like Cleveland. I like the over. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna pass. It's okay. NFL's not been good to me. I am 60-64 with NFL this year. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to force something in December. Why? Because you never do. It's not like I'm due to have a a 2-0 night. So I just say, you know what? I don't love it. It hasn't been treating me good. A couple games under 500, I'll stay away. So there's that. College basketball, though, again, 5-5 yesterday, 104-80 on the site. Not bad. I'm not even in the top 3 in money. I think I'm number 3 in money with 104 wins. I don't know. It happens. I love my college basketball. Chip, you are number 1 in NBA. You're crushing NBA. I have 8 games betting the NBA this year. 8, 4-4.
Well, like you said, you have to pick your spots. So.
Yes. Yeah. Speaking of picking spots,
yes.
College football playoff, we talked a little bit about yesterday what was going to happen. Alabama gets picked. Really? We talked about this a little bit yesterday. I was like writing down stuff. I'm like, why the heck on God's green earth? How are they in or 9? They're not even the best 9-3 team. I'm a Canes guy. I lean towards my Canes. I don't like Cristobal. You lost on the road to the 22 ranked team where you had a lead, and you lost to Georgia Tech, who just took Georgia, big bad SEC Georgia, to 8 overtimes. You lost by 9 points in 2 games. These guys just got smashed by Oklahoma. You lost to Vanderbilt. How are you leapfrogging a team that's saying if they're saying, well, Alabama gets in based on their wins. They had better wins than Ole Miss. I mean, I know Ole Miss beat Georgia by 20 points. You guys blew a 40-point lead against them, nearly lost.
There's got to be an SEC bias out there, Sean.
If it's wins, Miami should be in. You lost to a ranked team, and you lost to a team that just took your conference champion to 8 overtimes on the road. That doesn't count for nothing. I mean, 10 years ago, however long, they bypassed TCU because, you know what? Oh, the Big 12 doesn't have a title game. We got to give it to Ohio State. They won. What are we doing here? If it's wins, it's wins. You can't say Alabama gets in because of their wins, and then they have less wins than the other team, and their losses are worse. They're worse. And now you're going to penalize SMU if they lose? We'll be talking about that game in a second. Brian, me and Chip talked about this yesterday with Matt Fargo, but what are your thoughts on the playoffs here? Because I hate it. I hated it when it went to 12. I said this was going to happen. SEC, Big Ten, they're going to add 2 teams next year. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Tennessee and a good Michigan team. Or if Michigan's 500 again, it'll be Ole Miss coming in. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I would definitely lean to Miami getting in the playoffs. But if you look at strength of schedule, Miami's, I think, the teams that they played compared to Alabama and the SEC. But, it is a bias here. Alabama's got the pedigree. So I could see where you have an argument there for sure.
I get, but here's the thing. When one conference is automatically like, well, it's the SEC, and they start August with 7 teams in the top 15 and 4 teams in the top 5. How good is the SEC when we had to close down the Pac-12 and the Big Ten? Their best teams leave, and the Big Ten champion is the Pac-12 team. The Big 12 champion is a Pac-12 team, and the SEC champion is a Big 12 team, and the ACC champion is from the AAC. How good are these power conferences when the little guys came in and won it? SEC always gets these ridiculous, look at these 9 teams in the top 25. Oh, that's great. So every year a team goes 8-4, they're a good team? They're not a good team. If they're a good team, they would have beat the other team. It's a 500 league.
Sean, the storyline you're going to be talking about next week is what happens when UNLV upsets Boise State. Now you're going to have the Rebels in, and the Hurricanes are going to be out. Maybe even Alabama.
Hurricanes are out already, though. The Hurricanes are out. They're not in.
You can't happen.
No, they can't, because they said it. They said they said last night in the committee, we only go on what we've seen. So the only thing that could happen is SMU gets knocked out.
With a 21-0 lead, they should have taken care of business. So
listen.
Because I'm a Cane man as well. Believe me.
I understand that, but other teams could take care of business too, and they lost. You only have 2 losses by 9 points.
Yeah.
You lost by 20 to Oklahoma.
That's ridiculous.
You lost by 20 to Oklahoma, and South Carolina beat them in Oklahoma 35-6 or whatever the hell they did.
Yeah.
And they didn't get a sniff of the playoff. Come on. UNLV will get in because they'll leapfrog Boise and take care of business. SMU wins, they're in. But if Miami, there's no way they can get in because they said we're only going to go on what we see on the championship games. That's weird because years ago the championship games never counted. Now they count.
Can you fathom that the Rebels would even be in contention in this position? I never could have envisioned it.
Well, everybody loved Boise this year, right? It was like, oh, Boise.
They handle the Rebels though all the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're not talking about that game today, but that line at 3.5, 4 tells me that UNLV is live as hell there. I mean, they shut down.
I agree.
Let's see, he rushed for what? Only 4 yards of rush. They're running back against them. That kid. I mean, he's got better numbers than Henry's Heisman year. His numbers are ridiculous.
He's on the cusp of beating Barry Sanders' all-time single-season records. I mean, he's got to have something.
Well, that might be all he gets if UNLV wins. We'll see him in the I think the famous Potato Bowl is going to be Toledo versus somebody. I saw some of these bowl matchups. And the Hurricanes are going to be in a Pop-Tart Bowl with the dancing Pop-Tart. Hey, it's the Pop-Tarts are back.
Cupcake Bowl.
I mean, listen, I love the Pop-Tart Bowl. I mean, that was great. The giant toaster came out, and then they sunk into it, and they cooked them a little. Excellent. That one, and I got to say, the Bad Boy Mowers Bowl, I think is a great name. Those mowers look fantastic. I couldn't find them in Jersey when I was up there, and now the Bad Boys Mowers Bowls is played in New York. They don't even sell them up there.
The grass only grows 2 months.
I want a mower. They look pretty cool, those mowers, too, by the way. Anyway, all right, we talked about lawnmowers, and, of course, Pop-Tarts make their way into the chat. Let's talk some college football championship Saturday, Chip, and we're going to talk one here. We were just talking about Clemson and SMU. 2.5. This was Clemson somehow opened up as a favorite in this game and immediately flipped to SMU, which makes sense. SMU plays defense. Their one loss at the time was a undefeated BYU team at home. For me, Clemson, I think this is the worst thing that could happen to Clemson, like getting into this game. Like, Dabo says he doesn't like the nil money. He doesn't want to pay guys.
But this is their only chance to make it to the playoffs. I mean, they already have 3 losses, so
that's what I'm saying. Like, is the shine off of him? Now you're going to go here and take a 4th loss. They're going to say he's done. Like, I don't like what I've seen out of him. You're in off a loss. You beat who's that? Citadel. You put 50 up on Citadel. Before that, you're playing games 24-20. 24-14. You're not playing good ball. I like SMU here. I mean,
how could you not?
Mustangs. Who saw this coming out of the A? I did my little write up. I said AAC coming to the ACC. I said I'll give it a year or two to assimilate here and get up to snuff. Yeah, well, conference champions first year. Good for the Mustangs.
From what we've seen, they opened the season watching this Clemson team against Georgia. Tagged with 2 other losses. The loss to South Carolina, they gave up 267 yards on the ground, and they were actually pushed around. So this isn't a Trevor Lawrence type of Clemson team for sure, but they're, believe it or not, and I had to do a double take when I saw this. Their offense is 8th in the nation in total yards, and yet they're 5-6 against the number, and they've only gone over in 3 of their 11 games. So their defense has had to be stellar, at least in the red zone. And yet the defense ranks 58th, giving up 358 yards a game, and giving up 21 points a game. So I don't know. I just when you look at this game and you see the resume of the 2 teams, SMU coming back and having won I believe 10 in a row now, since they made a change at quarterback, by the way. How could they not be 4.5, 5 points? You just said that Clemson opened 2.5, and I was wondering if the bookmakers were teasing us or they put out the wrong side as the favorite. I think anything under 5 to me looks like you're supposed to lay it. I mean, I just don't see the fight in the Tigers, how you can back this team here. I really don't. So I'll probably have them. But right now I look for this game to go, I think we'll play it under the total.
Under the total?
Yeah. Clemson's not
Chip
going to do anything
Chirimbes.
I don't think.
Official pick.
I want to know what Brian has to say.
Under 56.5. That's a big number, too, considering the defense.
It's huge.
Under 56.5, official Chip Chirimbes play here. I agree. Brian, what do you think on this one here?
Well, it's not a game that I'm going to sell my house and put everything on it, but I'm leaning at this point to taking Clemson plus the points. You look at their schedule, they did play Georgia. They lost to Georgia, but they played South Carolina and Louisville are their losses. Right. SMU's schedule seems super weak to me if you go through it one by one. I mean, what's their biggest win? I mean, SMU's been impressive this year, but this line kind of tells you where you need to be at. I think for me, I'd probably take Clemson money line sprinkle some on the money line and take the points.
Again, the 2.5, it looks easy to take Clemson, right? You're like, wow, because I'm not a Clemson guy. They get crushed by Georgia. Like I said, I think Dabo's got 1 foot out the door because he's adamant with how the no goes. As for the scheduling, I mean, you mentioned with SMU, we talked about Miami briefly. You can only play who's in front of you.
Yeah.
No one thought Florida State was going to be absolutely atrocious. I mean, you beat the teams, you beat them. Listen, great year for SMU. I'd like to see them win here, but I don't know. We'll see what happens here. That's why they play the games. And listen, Chip said he sort of liked Clemson a little bit there. Brian says it's Clemson or a nothing kind of play there for him if he was going to do it. Officially, it is Clemson under 56.5 here from Chip Chirimbes. Again, get Chip's premium plays. 10-1 run in college football. He knows what he's doing. And he's pretty darn good in NBA. I call him Mr. NBA because 23-7, that's ridiculous. Holy cow. And he puts them up early. It's not like he's waiting until like 6 o'clock to put the games up. That's what's more impressive. If you're winning putting NBA up early, folks, if you watch the NBA, these cats just sit out like 15 minutes before game time. This guy's still winning.
That's the problem. I don't watch it.
You can. I tweeted out something the other day. Someone posted a 2-minute, 11-second clip. It was the Lakers versus the Suns. 8 missed 3-pointers, an air ball, a turnover, and a missed floater. Like, that's the game? 8 3-point shots. And another stat I saw with this crappy NBA, then we'll get back to some football. It's really important in life. I think like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, the Nuggets led the league in 3-point shooting attempts, like 31 a game. Now they're last in the league at 30 a game because it's like the average is like 45, 50 a game.
Yeah.
What the hell? All right, stop. We got to. That's another rant I'll go on next to my playoff rant. Brian, Big Ten powerhouse, Oregon Ducks. Here we go. They come in. Oh, the Pac-12 is so weak. Yeah, you run the table. 3.5-point favorite over Penn State. Total of 49.5. Their big game. Obviously, the Ohio State, they outlasted them. They were home. Whatever. They got the win. That's what you're supposed to do. Maybe the Wisconsin game, little ugliness, but you're going to have a tough one. They had a tough one on the road, and we see teams lose on the road. So they got the win. Good. Penn State. Can James Franklin beat a good team? Can he beat a good team? He loses to Ohio State, Michigan every year. Are they just going to go 9-3 every year or 10-2? Well, they're 11-1 this year, but can they beat a good team? Because they've had trouble beating top 5 teams like this. Are they going to get it done here? What do you think?
Yeah, I got to say, maybe the best game on the card. And, most likely this could be my best bet on Saturday. And I'm going to give it to you guys watching for free here. I think we're going to see massive bets coming in money-wise and bet-wise on the Oregon Ducks for various reasons. This line does seem a little low here. Oregon did dominate all year. They've covered 5 of the last 7 games. But all Penn State's been hearing is how they can't win the big game under Franklin.
Yeah.
But I think their offense can hang with Oregon if you dig into their offensive numbers. And their defense is actually ranked higher in most categories than the Oregon Ducks. I think it's a field goal game all day long. So I'm going to take the points here. I don't know if Penn State will pull the upset, but I think they keep it within the number.
There you go. Penn State plus 3.5. Brian Bitler coming there. I kind of lean to the under there, believe it or not. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Chip, thoughts?
Yeah, I've got a lot of thoughts on this game. Oregon's coming off beating Washington, the 3rd time they played them in the last 2 seasons. Last year they came down. They played during the regular season, and then they met in the Pac-12 championship game. Pac-12 with 18 teams. But Washington, they're just coming off beating them again, scoring 49 points, which was their season high. Penn State, all week long, I've been hearing what you guys just said. Do you want Franklin in this game, or do you want Franklin in any big game? And most people get sour when when you start thinking of him leading the team against Ohio State or even Michigan or any big game that they're in. And they're averaging 6.8 yards per play on offense, which was a surprise to me. Brian, you mentioned that the stats defensively and offensively actually favored Nittany Lions. They are 11-1. They were never in a game they lost, at least not from my eyes. I think they're the side here. I think that Penn State has a good chance of winning this game outright.
There you go. Another Penn State backer here. Linebacker U. Or are they running back U? They're linebacker U, right? Penn State? Back in the day, linebacker U.
Dino Capoletti.
And they were pretty good back in the day, Penn State. Let's see if they get the win there. Again, as we all mentioned, the knock on Franklin is, can he get the big win? This would be the biggest for him. It would be a big one if he could get it done. But officially for the show, Penn State plus the 3.5, Brian Bitler. Be sure to head to gamblersworld.net. Brian is number 2 college football capper on the site. Go get it. What better to, way to spend your championship weekend and getting a day pass from Brian for $70 again, all of his college football winners here on Championship Saturday. Now, I got an SEC battle. Georgia and Texas, a rematch of the 30-15 game back on whatever it was, October the 10th or whenever that was. Houston, Texans, I wrote down. That's good. Texas comes in, 2.5-point favorite, looking for payback. Total of 49.5. Oh, Georgia. Chip, they started the year, as you mentioned, crushing Clemson. They end the year with an 8 overtime game versus Georgia Tech, a wild one. And now here they are, championship game again, left for dead, right? No, these guys can't win. You lost to Alabama early, right off your season, and you lose at Ole Miss, Banksy on the road. But thank you, expanded playoffs. You have a spot, win or lose. You'll be a 3-loss team and somehow get in because you're Georgia. Unbelievable. Oh, wow. Listen, I'm not going to look at a side or total here. Do I like Texas? Yeah, I would prefer probably a money line play than laying this. I think it would probably be a dogfight type of game. But I think it's more, they got the revenge going. You lose 30-15 at home. And the fact that, this is why I kind of like the under. The kid on Beck here for Georgia, 3 interceptions in that game. Ewers threw a pick in that game. You get 3 interceptions, you still lose. Bad. Texas defense, when you're going to say that Texas has a better defense than Georgia, the way Georgia's defense has been churning out the last few years of NBA and just the way the NBA, NFL, and just beating teams the way they have. But this year, Texas got the better defense. We saw last week versus A&M on the road. I'm going to go under the 49.5 here. I think it's going to be a little more conservative play calling, right? Beck has been an interception machine. He went from the top of the draft to probably a third rounder, the way the guy's been throwing interceptions this season. And a big game, right? I mean, every game he throws 2 interceptions. You can't – listen, you could out-talent some teams, lowly teams in the SEC. You got to win in Texas. I don't think you do that twice. As much as Franklin was a guy who I don't like winning big games, Sark was another one until last year had trouble trying to get over the hump in his games. But I lean Texas with the money line. Officially for the show, though, I'm going to go under the 49.5. I think with the way the guys threw interceptions last game, maybe they run it a little more ball control kind of stuff, shorter, nothing really extravagant. I don't think it's also a championship game. Tend to be an under anyway. So I'm going to go under the 49.5 as my official play here for the video. Brian, what do you think about this guy?
Yeah, I think probably about as much as I like the Clemson Tigers. I think I like the Texas Longhorns here to get revenge on Georgia. Their only blemish on their record. I don't think Georgia, win or lose, they're going to be in the playoffs. And I think this game will mean more to Texas to get that earlier loss out of their system. Just take it to Georgia. Whenever I see the Bulldogs at plus points, it kind of sets off, this game's in Georgia, kind of a home game for Georgia. So I'll take Texas later points.
Brian, do you think even if Georgia wins this game, they're not going to get into the final 12? They're not going to make the playoffs?
No, I think Georgia will be in no matter what, just because of their reputation.
All right, I must have heard you incorrectly, but the first time they played, Texas ran for only 29 yards.
Yep.
And they still outgained Georgia by 40 yards for the game. I think it's a really tough call. I mean, here's Texas only allowing 4 yards per play defensively, number 1 in the nation. You saw what they did against A&M, 8 tries from the 1 and 2 yard line. They just couldn't get the ball in the end zone. They're allowing 247 yards a game defensively. I haven't seen what Georgia Bulldogs can do offensively to counteract this defense of the Longhorns. And yet this number at 2.5, why are they giving Georgia so much respect here? This SEC is just it comes at you like Alabama, grading in the top 12. I'm just wondering how much credence are they giving to these teams beating each other, and you should win some games somewhere along the line. Georgia's defense only giving up 330 yards a game, so I think this game is destined to stay under the total. Right now, the side is really tough because they've already played, and you think about the Texas revenge side, and you look at the numbers and sort of backs that, and then I think that the public is going to be enamored with Texas here, and I really don't like them as my companion when I'm betting games.
As we said, Texas was a 4-point favorite at home over these guys. Now it's a neutral, 2.5, 3, and it's a neutral in a spot where Georgia plays a couple games a year. They open up usually at the Atlanta Dome here, the Mercedes-Benz Center, wherever the heck they're playing at. The line tells you everything you know about how the bookmakers feel about Georgia this year. So if this game was back in Texas, what would this be, a 6? They'd be from 4 last game, from 4.5 up to a 6 here, maybe more. Now, when is Georgia again? When are they underdogs like this? Twice, I think they've been twice in the last 10, right? Alabama underdog, I think LSU.
Is as dogs, the spread record for Georgia as opposed to dog over the last 5 years or so.
And what is it,
how many times have they been dogs?
Not many.
I think I saw they were dog to LSU and to Alabama. Oh, I don't know. Again, if you want to take Texas there, I think they're kind of telling you to grab a little Texas action. But officially, for me, under 49.5. Brian Bitler's taking Penn State plus 3.5. Chip Trim is going under the 56.5 in the ACC, Clemson and SMU. These are our free picks. It's a free pick video. Yes, they're all marquee games. You get them all here. Last week, I want to see how we did last Wednesday. Well, not a good day last Wednesday. We'll have to rebound from a bad last Wednesday. So, all right. Listen, I tell you, win or lose, always the truth, folks. Free picks.
You're supposed to know the answer to the question before you ask it.
Well, I write them down, so I know the answer. I just had to double check that we went 0-3, which we did. But,
did we,
folks? Again, that's we had a bad video. You want plays that win more often? Head to gamblersworld.net. Brian is number 2 in college football money. I happen to be, 90 and 73 in college football. That's 55%. I'm not even in the top 3. That's how good people are doing on the site. All right, so head to gamblersworld.net. 3 738 packages guaranteed. We got the $79 college football championship special up. I got it right here in front of me. It's called a weekend bonanza. There we go. A bonanza, just like the TV show. Right? Was it that TV show back in the day, Chip?
It ran a long time.
Oh,
there you go. Speaking back,
Bonanza.
You still watch Bonanza? Speaking back in the day, how about this day in sports, Mr. Chirimbes?
Well, listen, it's December 4th, and most of the things that were happening. Is it December 4th? That was very good, Sean. I'll tell you, you're really becoming quite the professional. And this is date in 1904, 1909, the Montreal Canadiens were formed, this longest running professional hockey team, without, say, an interruption because of having to move or change of ownership or anything along this. Now, here's some revelation. In 1943, and we're talking about in the middle of World War II, Kennison Mountain Landis, you remember him from the 1990 Black Sox scandal? He came in and suspended all of the White Sox players. He made a decree, and I quote, "The Major League Baseball teams can now sign Negroes." 1943. And in 1945, we talked about Doc Blanchard, 198 fighter pilot missions, staying in the military, having won the Heisman in 1945 on his date. He was Mr. Inside, Doc Blanchard. 1956, Paul Hornung, the only player to win the Heisman with a team with a losing record. He edged out Jim Brown. I wonder why that happened. And in 1961, Ernie Davis, who was following Jim Brown's footsteps out of Syracuse, they came out with 3 great backs in consecutive seasons. And Ernie Davis was drafted number 1 by the Washington Redskins and never got to put on a uniform, died of leukemia in a couple of months. And in 1964, Major League Baseball approved a free agent draft. So they were still curtailing you. It isn't total free agency. If you declared free agency, Major League Baseball can now draft you in a certain order. And in 2017, with a 2-10 record, the Giants fired Ben McAdoo. So something in common. Anyway, that's it for December 4th. And other than the fact that you guys better get started on my Christmas present. You only got 3 weeks. I'm waiting.
Ernie Davis won a Heisman and died of leukemia in a couple months.
Yeah, in 3 months.
What?
I think he reported to camp and everyone knew he was already sick. I don't even think he ever put the uniform on.
The fact that he was put up numbers while he was in that condition is mind-boggling.
Well, it can happen fast. It certainly did with him.
Holy cow.
Yeah. That was sad. I was like 12 years old at the time. I remember that.
That's a crazy one. Thanks for the downer note there, Chip. We appreciate it.
Hey, listen, Paul Hornung won a Heisman. You should be happy about that.
Okay, who cares about that?
And Herschel Walker also won one on his date as well. So
Herschel Walker was pretty good. Who doesn't love Herschel Walker, guy?
Wow.
Bobsled team. Guy's a monster. Herschel Walker.
He used to run back kicks.
He was good. He was him and Tony Dorsett in the backfield. There you go.
Wow, Dorsett was great.
All right, listen. Chip, Brian, myself at gamblersworld.net for all of our premium content. Hit the like button here on the Winner Circle YouTube channel for all the free picks. Again, College Football Bonanza is up right now for just $79. We got the NFL end of season special for $199. Daily special, $69.99. Go get it. Support the channel. Support the show. Support your favorite capper. It's easy to do. Now, for Brian, Chip, and myself, we will see you again next week. I'll be ranting about something, so they'll just have to listen to me feast about whatever is going to go on. But gentlemen, have a good weekend, and I'll see you next week. Take it easy.